Yo, what's up guys, Shujinkydink here with another video to entertain or assist you in becoming the better Injustice 2 player. This video is all about the Clash. The Clash is awesome. It can save your butt or win you the round, depending on which is which. So depending on how much meter you use will depend on how much damage is either dealt or received. Health gain back. So let's go ahead and we'll Clash here.
Last call, sister.
Now you're asking for it.
If you wager 1 bar of meter, you're going to take away 15% damage. If you wager 2 bars, you're going to deal 25% damage or get 25% health back, depending on whether you are the attacker or the defender. And of course, if you wager 3 bars, it goes up to 30% damage or health regained. And if you wager 4 bars, you'll do 33% damage or receive 33% health back. So how do you exactly use this effectively? Well, it really depends on the scenario. One tip that I would give you though is if you're trying to make a comeback and say your opponent has no meter and you have full meter and you're trying to get some health back, I would not recommend using 4 bars. Almost never is it worth it to get an extra 3% health back. You would want to use 3 bars and then just keep your last bar for to help you get a comeback, because most characters, if you use a bar of meter, you get more damage and stuff. So that last bar of meter for that 3% health isn't really worth it. It's more worth it to put towards using a meter burn move to maybe get the comeback or whatnot. The only time that I would suggest using the 4th bar is if you really need the health and then your opponent has 3 bars, because then your 3 bars will cancel out his 3 bars and then your extra bar will get you 15% health back. Then you're both stuck with 0 meter, back to square one, you got a little bit of health back, and you have a higher chance of making a comeback. So when to clash is also very important, probably the most important thing about clashing in general. If you're just kicking someone's butt, like they're like on their 2nd health bar and you've got a whole bar and a half to work with, and they clash, I would just go ahead and use all of your meter to counter them, because then you have a whole power bar and a half to build all your meter back for your own clash if hopefully you don't need it. So then you're taking away their ability to clash, you're taking away all their meter, maybe you guys end up meterless, but you still have a massive health lead and they have to catch up to you. Also, whenever possible, don't use your clash when just after you lose your 1st health bar. Most of the time it's not really worth it to get that amount of health back, unless you're in a combo or a setup that you know is going to cause a lot of damage and you really just need to get out of that setup. I usually like to use my clash somewhere about the 50% mark of my bar. That way if I use my meter, I have enough to get up to almost a full life bar again. And you know, it gives me an option to kind of feel them out. And, you know, you might have a comeback and then even up the life, and then maybe your meter is more valuable for special moves at that point than actual getting health back. So the last tip that I could give is, as a attacker, keep in mind that there are ways to keep people from clashing. For example, you can do a forward 3, you can do a back 3, but you can also meter burn them. So when you meter burn a back 3 or forward 3, you get a damage boost. So you'll see the back 3 does 143 damage, meter burn does 215. So if you have the meter available and then they're on the last little bit of their health, meter burn back 3 and a meter burn back 3. There you go, 38% unclashable damage. That's just stupid. And of course you can do the same thing with that, but that gets kind of tricky for Supergirl. It might be easier for other characters. Also throws. All throws are unclashable as well, and most projectiles. There are some projectiles that they can clash, but go into the lab and just find out which moves that your character has that you're unable to clash. That'll help you when it comes down to crunch time, when they have like 20% health left and they're sitting on their clash, they got full meter, and you're like, oh my god, I don't want to touch him or I'll get all his health back. So that's it guys, that's just some high level tips for using the clash, things to remember, some strategies. If you have any questions about anything that I covered or you want to add to it, just post in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, because it really helps me out. And subscribe, because we make videos every single day. Hashtag Bonehawks and all that stuff, and we'll see all you guys in the next video.
Accept your death.